Hi lovely people, it's Candy here. Welcome back to my channel. I am going to try not to knock the desk because it is moving the camera. Today I wanted to do a VR to the lovely Kelly-Ann Maddox, and it's her Happy Witch tag. And to put my responses in context for this, I think I'll just set the scene. I come from a background, I was raised by atheist parents with the message that anything to do with spirituality or religion was a sign of madness and to run from it. But by the age of 20 I knew I was seeking something, which led me into the Christian church and some not good experiences, which led to more questioning, and then a full water baptism followed by an immediate conversion to paganism and witchcraft, and suddenly the light being open. So make from that what you will. A baptism opened my eyes to where I needed to be and what resonated with me. So and I'm about 2 years, year and a half into this journey now, and I love it. Am I a happy witch? Yes. So question one is, what makes you the happiest about the fact that you're a witch? This has to be set in context to how unhappy I've been for such a huge part of my life. Ignore the traffic noise, I've got the window open, I'm hot. Yeah, I'm the woman that built a crying seat at the top of my garden so that I could go and sit on it and cry every day, and the kids, I would have warning that the kids were coming up to find me and I'd have time to pull myself together. I am a woman that has come from a place of real betrayals and traumas, and unhappiness was a given. So what makes you happy to be a witch? Just using that word happy is immensely powerful for me. It's immensely impactful, and it's a complete step away from what I was trained should be my norm, which is unhappiness. Stepping into witchcraft was a middle finger to all of those people and a declaration to the world that I am my own person with my own power, my own rights, my own voice, my own beliefs, my own passions. It's a claiming back, it's a coming home, it's a soul retrieval back to myself, it's an acknowledgement of my needs, it's all of those things. And why this path? Why not stay in the Christian church? This is the path that spoke to me as a woman, stepping back into my power. I'd find the Christian church was full of men telling women to behave whilst behaving incredibly badly themselves. It was a place where I was still less than. It didn't encourage questioning. It didn't encourage hands in the soil and connecting with other powers. It didn't encourage acceptance of different paths. It didn't sit well with who I felt at my core. And it came about that once I was beginning to see the shape and the boundaries of the core of who I am, which was always hidden and caged away, I realised that acceptance and love and nature and owning my power as a woman and connecting to that power through the ages and the true history of where women have walked before me, and then my ancestors coming in to heal core wounds, all of those doors needed a connection with things that other religions couldn't offer. For me, witchcraft and paganism was the only way to embrace everything I was. So what makes me happy is the permission to be myself. Although, disclaimer, we don't need permission, and that's the whole point. I don't need permission anymore, and that's why I'm really pleased to hold up the label witch. Question 2, which practice do you tend to enjoy most in your witchcraft and why? The magic of creating. I class myself as an art witch, and for me that encompasses art in the garden, in nature, and growing things, and holding seeds in my hands and putting them in the soil, and then the magic coming from that, and a garden growing. It encompasses going in the art studio and falling into meditation and trance-like states through drawing and ink work and journaling. It involves sitting down and playing with words and getting lost in that and realising I've been gone for 3 hours and there's this piece that's my soul laid out with intents of who I want to be and where I've come from, and unravelling maps. For me, the practice of creativity is witchcraft. It's colour and putting power in things that you can't necessarily explain. It's about embracing the fact that a line going off in that direction makes your soul set free, whereas lines coming down in this direction make me feel buried. It's about seeing the possibility of powers and shapes and connections through surface artistic symbols. It's about the power of connection and symbolism. That's why if I had to label myself as anything, I would say I'm an art witch. Question 3, how have you changed in positive ways as the result of practicing the craft? I think I've grown up. And by that, I don't mean that I was childish before. I think I was naive before, and that naivety led me into really dangerous waters. It made me easy prey, and for a long time I mourned losing that naivety. I felt it was a key component of who I was gone, and was that a good thing? As I've stepped more into this power that I feel, I know that it is a good thing to shed naivety. It's a different level of female power that I own. It makes me more forgiving. It makes me less reactive. It makes me more able to state manage, because my power is my own. I don't hand my emotions and my reactions over to other people as easily, and I allow them to carry their own. I don't pick up other people's bags anymore, and it makes me more loving. It makes me more hopeful. It makes me not resent the housework as much as well, because I can put magic and intent into it. Question number 4, what has been the most positive result you have had from a spell or a ritual? Weird one, because I would love to give the impression that I am doing spells and rituals every other night of the week and writing down the results and keeping track of them, but I'm not there yet. I am still researching, I am still reading. I have reverence for not rushing into this. There have been many a night that I've had to resist the urge to turn to the hexing revenge spells in the books that I'm reading, and to just jump in both feet first. And I think that's human nature. But I also believe in putting out into the world what you want to receive back, and not being dragged down to other people's levels. So I've not done any dark magic, whatever that means, spells. But what I have loved doing is beginning to connect with the moon, creeping out into the garden with Busby, my boy, and burning our intent on new moons, of letting go of past hurts and burning them in the garden on full moons, of setting up a walkway of candles up the garden to a burning lunar sapphire, and parading through with the kids, asking them to make plans and wishes for the season to come, and then sitting in the garden by the fire watching the sunset with them all, with lanterns burning. Just those moments of being in nature and connecting. Also dancing in the woods, swirling round. There are many a time I've walked the dogs and ended up twirling in the middle of the woods, chanting. Spells not so much yet with a set intent, but just that intent to connect with nature and feel free, and to feel release, and to feel connected. I think feeling connected is the biggest positive result of any ritual that I've had. 5. How has your craft enriched the lives of others? My kids are very open now. They talk about the sabbats, they talk about making little altars for things. They have watched their mom go from doormat on a crying step to an empowered woman that owns her own being. For my daughters to see that will heal generations to come. For my son to see that gives him the full scope of who women are, and it will teach him that women are powerful, and that is to be embraced. My path and my stance and my stake in the ground in my family history, I feel, is very much a breaking the circle. It's hard work to do, and I sometimes do wonder why it landed on my shoulders when it's so difficult. But that's what I feel my role is. It's the circle breaker, it's the generational curse decoder, it's the trauma dam that I don't want passing on to my kids. Hopefully my craft will feed down into more than one generation to come, long after I've gone. That's my hope. Question number 6. What are you most looking forward to trying in your craft, and why? I think some very practical spells, actual physical spells with an outcome that I can track the results of. Charm casting as well. I've been collecting charms. Charm casting just fills me with excitement. Creating my own tarot deck. Finding out more about sacred geometry and including those shapes in the art studio. Beginning to read the tarot more for other people, and finishing the main structure of my garden next year to create a space out there to do that. There are so many things I'm looking forward to in this craft. It's nice to embrace that possibility of being the beginner. What do you like the most about the witchy community, online and or offline? I'm so lucky. I found both. I found a coven and a goddess centre in my local town, and the people there are delightful. So after the pandemic, I'm hoping to build more physical connections there and friendships. And online, the community I found online have been so accepting and so friendly and so encouraging. Finding a community online that has similar beliefs and is on a similar path, and delight in that oddness. It does feel like finding a tribe. It's certainly a tribe I didn't find in the Christian church. In the Christian church, I just find hypocrisy and people wearing masks and people doing damage. And yes, Inktober Day 1, I am looking at you. But online, the tarot community, the witchy community, there is such a wealth of knowledge and experience and generous sharing and encouragement and love being offered up, that it is really, it makes me want to do more, to try more. It is just a permission to be the oddball. Spoiler, again, you don't need permission. Question number 8. How do you envision your craft evolving positively in the future? Giant canvases, huge ink drawings, goddess pictures, tarot decks, oracle decks, spirit dolls, embroidered wands, a knitted tarot, a crochet tarot, charms made, jewellery made, altered clothing, an Etsy shop, a tarot hut in a magic garden with regular clients, and trying to share that love of creativity on a supportive, loving YouTube channel. That's my new vision moving forward in this incredible witchcraft space and path that I found. Question number 9. How do you keep your witchcraft practice healthy, happy and productive? Productive kind of triggers me because I'm knackered all the time and I don't sleep. So the minute I hear the word productive, I want to climb into bed and pull the covers over my head and do nothing. And then that makes me feel unhappy and makes me want to eat cake. So for some reason, speaking completely with no preparation on this video, that question triggers me. How do you keep your witchcraft practice healthy, happy and productive? It is if it is, and if it isn't, that's fine. If it's a sad day where the past has grabbed me, and all I do is eat too many pieces of toast and look at my altar and can't be bothered to get up and light a candle, then I don't berate myself. And then on the days where I am not like a walking zombie with tiredness and too much laundry to do and shopping to do and dogs to walk and a school run to do and homework to sort out, on those days then I do have a healthy, happy and relatively chugging along practice, and I'm okay with that. I also try and incorporate it in the everyday things, so all those things that make me feel unproductive, like I've just mentioned, the needing to vacuum for the first time in 2 months, the getting the dust off, the getting the dog hair off the sofa, the clearing out all the trash the kids have dropped on the back of the car, the 8 loads of laundry that have piled up. I put intent into those. I'm folding the laundry away. This is me folding my wishes to me. What are my wishes? It's a spell. The dusting. This is that shitty relationship where he told me I was no good. These are all the words he said. This is I'm dusting this away with this dust. It's intent. It can be put into the everyday, and sometimes when the everyday is stealing every second of your time so that you can't get to the practice that you want to be doing, that's the way I make myself feel more productive. Say life is what happens when you're planning other things. And as a single mom of 3, that is certainly the case. And sometimes I can feel completely on hold all the time because of the everyday. So finding a way to put spells and magic into the everyday, to put the incense stick on as I'm making the kids breakfast and watching the smoke twist around the Cheerios, and say this is the protection for the day over the kids that are going to eat these Cheerios, to point out all of the trees and to give trees stories as I'm doing the school run so that me and the kids can connect with the wheel of the year on the school run. We have our own trees, we have our own run of trees, we have things that we watch for throughout the year. It's putting it into the everyday and knowing that with altars around the house and trying to pull the beauty of this practice into the house, or choosing a necklace and saying, right, today this symbolises this intent for my day, and wearing it I'm going to absorb it. All of those little things just make me feel like my practice isn't being lost in the mundane, because it's the mundane most of the time that makes up our life, so we may as well make it magical. And the last question, what is the one piece of advice you would share with other witches to help them make their path more positive? You do you. Listen for your own voice. Make sure you know when that voice isn't your own. Know that magic can be found anywhere, even in a laundry basket of dirty socks. Catch yourself saying, I'm not that person, I'm not creative, or I'm not the person who does this, I'm not the person that does that. Have you tried it before you've said I'm not? Be open to stepping into the unknown. Be open to using the word yet. I'm not that person yet. I'm not the person that does spells yet. I'm not the person that is secure in this practice yet. I'm not the person who can paint like you yet. And if you feel hooks going into your soul and you feel you are losing your voice, then stand your ground, know where your boundaries are and where your edges are, and put bigger spaces between those that tell you no. Let them carry their own bags. Your soul belongs with you, not with somebody else. And if your body is telling you that something is right or something feels wrong, then listen to your body. Your head and your heart can sometimes conspire against you. Your body never does. And always remember, you don't need permission.